I just finished building this tall cabinet in the front of my shop, and mainly what I built it for was to put my compressor in to keep that out of the way and keep the dust off and whatnot, and maybe cut down on the noise a little bit. But from here up, there's going to be shelves in. The only thing is I didn't cut in any shelf pins on the sides, but that's not a problem because I've come up with a different way of doing it that I've been meaning to try, and it involves the biscuit joiner. The way this is going to work is I've got a piece of plywood here that I cut to 5 inches wide. It really, it doesn't matter too much how wide it is. Basically, this sets the lowest pin here, and I don't think I'd have to adjust this shelf down any closer than 5 inches. So I set that in, sitting on the bottom shelf up against the side here like that. I'll take the biscuit joiner, I'll put it in position like this, up tight against the face frame. Then I'll cut the slot on the front. I'll do the same on the back. Next, I can take the plywood out of there and take a pair of biscuits. These are number 20. I'll just shove those into the slots here like this. Then I'll use a thinner piece of plywood to space up the next cuts, and that will sit right on top of the biscuits that I've already put in. Now this has a tendency to fall over when it's up there, so to keep it there, I'll just cut a piece of plywood that I'm going to use to spring clamp it in place. Okay, that's dusty. It's blowing out at me. When I'm doing the other side, it'll blow in, so it'll be a lot better. But in the meantime, I've added a kind of a dust deflector here to the thing, just using a piece of masking tape. Simple and easy. So basically see what the way this works. Take the biscuit out, put it in the next slot up, and work my way up the cabinet as high as I want to. The spacing I have here is 2 inches, which I think is best for this kind of thing. You don't really want to go any closer than that. After you've done this a few times, you start to develop a rhythm and it goes quicker. I cut as high as I wanted to on that side over there. All I need to do now is do this side. This should be easier because the dust is blowing away from me. Once again, I got the 5-inch piece on the bottom here, and I'll cut a slot on this side, that side, work my way up. I've got all the biscuit slots cut in the cabinet. I've got one other problem to deal with, and that's where the shelf sits on the biscuit like this. The biscuit can work its way out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a rabbet in the edge of the shelf so that when the shelf sits down on the biscuit, it will lock the biscuit in place. It can't work its way out. I've got my shelf pins put in, my biscuits, and I've got the shelf ready. I'm going to put it in and see how it fits. See how it works. I know how well it fits. Beautiful. I've got the drawer clamped down to my workbench table saw here, and here's my jig, and then you can clamp it in position from underneath. And then you can use the router with a dovetail bit to cut out the dovetail.